Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Saturday, April 9th, 2016, around 5:51 in the morning, Belleville, Massachusetts. It's going to be a sunny day out. Highs at about 47, 48 degrees, a couple of degrees below average for this time of year, but we'll take it because last week it was cold and some bouts of snow. Some news to report: Boston Celtics beat the Milwaukee Bucks by a score of 124-109. Celtics tied with the Hawks for third place in the Eastern Conference, so they have a couple more games left of the NBA season. Boston Red Sox beat Toronto Blue Jays by a score of 8-7 last night. The Detroit Pistons have clinched a playoff spot. First time they're going to the playoffs in about 7 years, so congratulations to them. It's Happy National Unicorn Day, and 12:30 today on NESN and Sportsnet in Canada, it's the Ottawa Senators versus the Boston Bruins. This is the last regular season game for the Bruins this year. They need to win today if they're going to make the playoffs. If not, then they would need help. And the Bruins need to play very aggressively, because I just hope this is not the final game for the Bruins this year. And if it is, then Claude Julien's probably coach his last game of the Bruins. We'll wait and see about that. And that's about it on the news. My first, I'm a little bit tired. My first video blog subject of the day is the continuation of the top 50 greatest tag teams of all time in professional wrestling history today, from numbers 30 through number 21. And here they are. Number 30 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time: Money Incorporated, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Erwin R. Scheisse, also known as IRS. They were three-time WWE Tag Team Champions between the winter of 1992 and June of 1993. They were managed most of their ring by the man for the South, Jimmy Hart, and it was an awesome tag team. The $1 Million Man was kind of stale in the singles role, so they put him with Erwin R. Scheisse, and the storyline said that Jimmy Hart maneuvered like Money Incorporated to be tag team champions instead of the Natural Disasters, because the LOD was hurt, but it was just a ploy to get the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and IRS the tag team titles. And they were chicken shit heel tag team for most of their time, feuding with the Natural Disasters and the Nasty Boys. They also feuded with the Megamaniacs, Hulk Hogan, and Bruce Barber Beefcake, and the Steiner Brothers. They had an awesome cage match on the SummerSlam showdown in 1993, which was amazing. Number 29 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag team of all time: Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner. They started teaming in 1989 in the NWA. They won many WCW World Tag Team Championships and the US title, and also New Japan Tag Team titles. They were awesome moves. Scott Steiner had the Tilt-A-World Slam, and this Frankensteiner, and Rick Steiner was a power move. They also went to WWE, winning the tag team titles a couple of times, and also they wrestled for ECW. And number 28 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time: the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart. They were cowboys, and they actually started wrestling in Independence in Florida in 1992 as the Long Riders. Then they were brought to WWE. They were kind of a jobber tag team for the first year and a half they were in the WWE, but when they got the WWE Tag Team titles, they were off and running, dominating the weak division. They actually turned heel in in May of 1996, managed by Sonny, but eventually they lost the tag team titles, and Sonny fired them, and eventually Billy and Bart feuded with one another. Number 27 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher. These were two badass faces who teamed up in many regional promotions, including WWA in Indianapolis and the AWA. They had long-running feuds with the Outlaws, the Texas Outlaws, and a few other tag teams. They won the AWA World Tag Team titles a couple of times. They were pretty awesome. Number 26 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, the Fabulous Kangaroos. The Fabulous Kangaroos were built from Australia, and they were Al Costello and Roy Hufferman. Actually, Roy Hufferman was legitimately from Australia, while Costello was born in Italy, and they were a heel tag team going to many regional territories in the 50s, 60s. Just excuse me, I'm a little tired. And they brought Boomerangs. They were managed by George Crybaby Baby Cannon after Costello and Hufferman broke up. Al Costello teamed with other people to do the Fabulous Kangaroos, including Tony St. Clair and Don Kent, the professional wrestler, not the TV meteorologist. But Costello did not have that much success with like Tony St. Clair and Don Kent when he had with Roy Hufferman. And in the early 1990s, the Fabulous Kangaroos were reunited as the new Fabulous Kangaroos. Al Costello was the manager, and included a young Al Snow and two other lower level guys that never made it big in professional wrestling. Number 25 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, the Masked Assassins. The Masked Assassins were a major heel team in many regional territories in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Assassin number 1 was Jody Hamilton. Assassin number 2 was Tony Westilfo, or they had others, including another assassin number 2 who was Hercules Hernandez in Mid-Atlantic area to team with Jody Hamilton. The Assassins won many regional tag team titles. They were masked heels, and sometimes Mr. Wrestling, the Masked Assassin would load up his mask for to put a foreign object. The Assassins had a long-running feud with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Number 24 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, the Heavenly Bodies. Originally it was Stan Lane and the Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard. Later it was the Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard, and the Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey. They were managed by Jim Cornette. They dominated Smoky Mountain Tag Team Wrestling, winning many with Smoky Mountain World Tag Team titles, feuding with the Rock and Roll Express, the Stud Stable, the New Fantastics, the Gangsters, and the Thugs, which was Tony, Anthony, and Tracy Smothers. They also made trips back and forth to the WWE. They had an awesome match with the Steiners at SummerSlam 1993, but they were more known for being job tag team in WWE, which was such a shame because I think Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey could have had a run at the WWE tag team titles. Number 23 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, the Kiwi / the Sheep Herders / the Bushwhackers, Luke Williams and Butch Miller from New Zealand, and they started teaming in the late 1970s in many regional territories, especially Stampede and Southern territories as the Kiwis, and they were like a heel tag team with Voodoo Move. They were rebranded as the Sheep Herders in the early 80s, teaming in Portland, and San Antonio, and a few other territories. They had a long-running feud with the Fantastics, which was a very bloody feud. They won a few tag team championships, including UWF tag team titles. They also briefly wrestled for Jim Crockett Promotions during their dying days. And in late 1988, the Sheepherders were like rebranded as a Bushwhackers as a comedy-face tag team. Whoa, yeah! That's what they're known for, but they were mainly known for being a jobber tag team in the WWE, which was, a little sad, but they got a lot of money being the Bushwhackers. Then the Sheepherders was a Kiwis because they were just getting the money, and plus everybody loved. They were billed as cousins, Luke and Butch, even though Butch Miller and Luke Williams are not related in real life. They're not even cousins in real life. In the WWE Hall of Fame. Number 22 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, the fabulous ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane. They were like a kind of the first BJ tag team. BJ is Blowjob, that babyface tag team, and they came out dressed to the nines, having like those tuxedo, like the bow ties. They started in Memphis, and then they went to the AWA, and then Florida, and a couple of other regional territories. They were known for feuding with the Legion of Doom and the Sheepherders and the House of Humperdinck in Florida. They were reunited in 1991 at USWA as heel tag team managed by James E. Cornette. And number 21 on this list of the greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time, to end this list right now, is PG-13, JC Ice and Wolfie D. They were kind of like a tag team from the hood, like rapper wannabes. They were mainly in USWA, feuding with like Tommy Rich and Buddy Landau and Bill Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler and a few others. They won the USWA tag team titles multiple times. They even were wrestled under mask called the Cyberpunks in the late 1990s as just as an angle, because I think both Jamie Dundee and Wolfie D lost a lose-a-leaf town match. And eventually the PG-13 had a crack with the WWE, but they were part of the Nation of Domination, which was a bad waste of their talent. And they briefly wrestled for WCW, but they didn't go anywhere in WCW. And that's about it on that. I'll be back later on today with 2 more video blogs. One will be about USA Today Sports Weekly, and the third and final video blog of the night will be about my personalized profile. Tonight's personalized profile will be about Pro Basketball Hall of Fame coach and Celtics legend Red Auerbach, the late Red Auerbach. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bunny guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCOX and has nice legs. Elizabeth had so stunning, she's the best. Amy Swansea, so awesome. And in the words of Sean Lucha, get out! See you later, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Bye now.